So I'm from Leapfrog Fight TV. I'm here with Dean James. Um, so we had a chat online little while ago, and it does blow my mind the fact that you've done so much and that no one's actually proper sat down and have a conversation like this with yourself. And I feel honoured, first of all, that I have the ability to do that. So thank you for giving me the chance
Yeah.
to come
Oh,
down and have
thank
that
you.
conversation.
No problem.
So I spoke to Tony,
Mm.
and Tony said you're a complete dick. But
You didn't lie. You didn't lie.
he didn't say that. He didn't say that. He didn't say that. He was basically saying how you walked into the gym first, and it was you and your mate,
Yeah,
and how
Wayne.
he was kind of really impressed with not so much your physicality, but your mentality into the sport. So I kind of want to touch on why you walked into the gym that day. What was the thought process? Where were you that made you think, you know what, I want to learn combat sports and I want to learn
Yeah.
Muay Thai?
There wasn't a thought. It was I think it was I'd just come from treatment and I was being locked away and my mum, bless her, and my dad, I think when you're having because I've been chemotherapy at the time. So going through my treatment, and I've got a friend, Richard Wayne. He's a judge now. He's judging on one. He's doing really well, and it was his idea. He's much more. I'm gonna put the word like I'm gonna put violent. Let's put it that way. He's for me when he said I'm gonna go into this sport, and I was like, okay, cool. Spoke to my parents, like I'm gonna go along with my friend, just go and support him. And he wants to do something called Thai boxing. Now, for me, my dad had done like freestyle type kickboxing and stuff like that. So I thought she's all the same. Thought punch, kick, exactly the same. Anyway, went along on the night after. 'Cause it was a Monday, because my treatment was on the Friday. So Monday's normally a good day, and I'll go downhill again, and then I go up again after the treatments and whatnot. Went and watched. I walked into the gym, and the gym just stunk, and I was there like not taking part, just come to watch a friend. I was like, oh god, it was like because then they had like carpet. There's no windows, no ventilation or anything. It was Trojan at the time, which I didn't know then what I was walking into, and all the grace it produced. And I walked in, I was like, oh, this stinks. Straight away, I was put off by the smell, and then I seen this smaller guy on the pads. And I was thinking, oh, I was watching him because I'm just sat on the chair. My friend's joining in, and then watched Tony coach. Didn't know at the time was just we just called him the instructor. I didn't know to call him sensei. I didn't know what the things were then. I thought, okay, he seems like a down to earth guy. He's approachable, and he made straight away what I was intrigued by was his way of breaking down, which I seen violence.
Right.
But it's like it wasn't. He's putting puzzles together, and I was like, oh, okay, it's problem solving, and then that's what attracted me to it. It wasn't just like I want to be something tough. I want to be that was so far away from my head, and I didn't intend to do it. I just went along with a friend, um, and then I got hooked. I seen Tony on the pads with Pete Crook,
Mm.
and it was just like bang, bang, bang. I was like, whoa! When you see something, you just like I want to do that. Went home. No one even knew I was going to touch my friend because of all the infection stuff can stop me from getting my chemotherapy. They'd be in a sweaty gym straight away. My mum's gonna be like, no, you're not going, you're not going, you're not going. Really protective. So I was lying, we're just going out for a drive in my mate's car. And I started, just started going from there really. And then I remember I think it was like a couple of months. So I talking to Tone and then he's telling me like the science behind it. And that's what I was just intrigued by. It's not just people punching each other in the face. It's not who the toughest is. You know, like say, I'll get hooked on things like, oh, my dad would say something like, oh, he's really good before, but his chin's gone now. So I used to think it was like, oh, his chin can't take a punch. Not thinking about the technique of what he's doing or what he's not doing. Do you know what I mean? I think might be when Mike Tyson was going down. I don't know, and I couldn't understand. And my dad says chinny, but Tony would like break it down. So that's what I got hooked on initially. Yeah.
So talk to me about, too, like, there's a lot of people, like I speak to a lot of people, I speak to a lot
Yeah.
of fighters where they make that step and they go into the gym and the stories are similar to yours, where we go in and we're just doing it for fitness or doing it for whatever reason,
Yeah.
and it goes into something else. But you had treatment on Friday, and then on Monday you're going to like the exact opposite to what I think somebody that's having
Yeah.
therapy going to. Why did you go into that gym on that Monday? Like, what was the reason? Was there a reason to it? And
Um,
knowing what you were going through, knowing what your parents are telling you, and all the fear to it.
I think that was like the streak of rebelling. I think because I shouldn't have been doing it. And it's kind of stuck with me. That kind of trait has stuck with me through my career and kind of become the reason why I've had so much success.
Yeah.
It's because people tell me I can't. I'm gonna prove that I can. I've just got a personality where sometimes for the worst of me, I'm gonna. Don't get me, it's a blessing, a curse. But no, it was. I just went there, and then I felt as though with the chemotherapy, something that's battering you physically and emotionally too. Because my uncles have passed away, and I was finding out about my biological father, found out about his family, and how they all passed away because I didn't know him. So it was all, everything was new. But something that's physical in front of you can fight back with. You hit me, I can hit you back.
Yeah.
That's easier than hit, and there's nothing to hit back. So my vent became, I could whack the pad. No technique, didn't know what I was doing, just swing and oh, that felt good. That's all it was. And then, yeah, it just became like, I guess that fixed that obsession. The treatment became quite easy because I knew I'd be like, okay, get out of hospital. If they let me home, get out of hospital. Without any complications, I'll be able to go home. Because I didn't have a large intestine. They took that out, so I had a colostomy bag. That was hindering me from taking part. So it was not only the mind of my body wouldn't do what it wanted, but physically with that, that's also another barrier, a barrier to, you know, to wear, like the vest what I'm wearing now, with those training gear. I wouldn't wear this because you see the bag to be
Okay.
big hoodies. So then you start realise you've lost weight. I think I was like 7 stone, and I'm 5'9". So that kind of weight, and I started to hide behind my clothing, and then it was just Thai boxing. No one looked at you any different. Does that make sense? I don't even know if I answered the question there or not. I've kind of gone off topic, but it's just that someone telling me that I can't. I bet you that I can. I've always had that about me, and like it's probably my most annoying um, trait, but it's kind of brought me success and
I
kept me
think it's
safe.
like, if I've obviously not been there, I can't say that I can understand what you were going through mentally, but you have the diagnosis of cancer,
Yeah,
and the scenario in your head is always completely negative.
yeah,
And was this kind of like a way of you fighting back, saying, fuck that,
yeah.
this is my chance. I'm not letting this control me. I'm gonna live my fucking life. I'm gonna do what I want to do.
I think
There's
so.
like,
I think so. Like from
yeah.
you saying, I find
Because you say
something.
rebellious, and it's not necessarily rebellion against, let's say, your parents,
Yeah,
but it's rebellious against the situation you're in.
yeah, yeah. Definitely. I think that there's elements of rebellion, but there's also hurt and being confused.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the not knowing, am I going to be here in so many years' time? And you can't look for, you know, at that age, at the age of um, 18, 19, when I was diagnosed, everyone's off at uni and they're doing all these things. Everything that I planned, they'd just gone on hold. And it was no longer about, you couldn't see, all I could see is now, now, now.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like, that behavior is kind of the way that I see it. And I've got to kind of retrain my brain to help me now I'm older that, Dean, you're going to be next year, so you've got to think. And it does change the way that you kind of approach things.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's it's good. I think it's made me who I am. But that fight is that when that bell goes, I enjoy. That's where
Yeah.
it jumps into my head. When that bell goes, I feel safe.
Yeah.
It's like, because now nothing's happening physically, and that took me from the start. My first fight with all the adrenaline pumping, and it felt like someone said, "Oh, go now. Now you can go and fight back." So now I've been fighting with something I can't fight back with. You're in my way. I can take this on you. So you get that much, and it's not like a rage. It's kind of like that. The
Release.
punches, nothing really. I'm not saying it doesn't hurt, but is that release, as you just said? It's just kind of like, okay, if I just put that in a pocket, and I'm going to tap into that when I need it,
Yeah.
and then it's off. Do you know what I mean? So it wasn't. My fight was never about fighting. It was about getting rid of that excess baggage that I don't need to carry.
Yeah. Yeah. Quite good. It's something interesting that you just said a little while ago, and it kind of connects to what Tony was saying. Is Tony said, I went to Tony, what did you see in Dean? Because Dean's obviously become a world champion and he's had some really big fights. What did you see in Dean when you're training him in early doors, right? Because you couldn't have been great on the first couple of sessions, right? And he said it was your intellect how you know how you were saying how you're looking at it, you're looking at problem solving, and that's the one thing because he's got that kind of mindset as well.
Yeah.
It felt like you two were just meant to meet because he has
Yeah.
that kind of mindset, and you had that kind of mindset, and the problem you were solving was Muay Thai in terms of how to improve this and how to improve that. Do you feel like having that type of coach with that type of mentality helped you develop as a fighter in the early days?
Yeah, 110%. Tony would, the good thing about Tony's coach, I did at that gym at that time, there's a couple of other coaches, and because I didn't know what was going on each night, and I could go to a coach and he'd coach me like, I thought fighting was something you can do or you can't. Didn't think it's something you could learn.
Yeah.
And Tony made me, it's like, well, were you born not able to write? I was
Yeah.
like, oh, couldn't understand. And he just told me these little things. It's like, okay, now rather than looking at what you can see, you're looking at what you can build from my brain. So this is just your shell. Because he'd always talk about, okay, you're in this position now because of my treatment. And that's how we developed that bond. So Tony, I trust Tony with everything because he knew what he's like. Because I was like, Tony, when I had my first fight, I was like, Tony, I don't know what. Because you got all the nerves going on. And then my parents not knowing, no one knowing I was fighting. And I was like, am I going to be okay? And I just trusted him. He was like, Dean, you'll hear me. I'm with you. Just listen. And then, so when you have your first fight and people saying you this, you that, it wasn't. It was just, I was just listening to what I was told. People think you're some guy, oh, I've had so many fights before. No, I haven't. I'm just listening to what I've been told. I know that if I do what he says, I'm going to be safe. It wasn't ever about winning.
Yeah.
It's about being safe, what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And it made me look at the game as approach it. Like, it is fighting, but we fight second, not first. If I can get any advantage over you, if you've got a chink, and Tone does a lot in psychology,
Yeah.
and I think that plays a part. So I can play. He's like, we'd always play mind games. So he'd be building me, and he'd always tell me instead, we're building. Never knew what he meant. Never questioned him because I just trusted him. He's my dad. You know, I even call him pops. Do you know what I mean? He's done so much for me that when he's like, okay, you're not doing that. You're doing this. Okay. And I always remember when I first disagreed, and I think I've been stopping people with knees. And one of the fights, I said, "You're not kneeing." I said, "Pardon? You're ready to go to the fight. You're not going to knee."
Okay.
I said, "Tom, my knees. I'm stopping people." I know. That's why you're not going to knee. Then your music hits, and you're like, "Shit, I hit my knees." Feels like you're going to a gunfight without your gun. Do you know what I mean? And I was there like, oh, what do I do? And then he's like, "You can box." Then I knocked him out punches, and then it was just that's how it all worked.
Yeah.
And he's always kind of backed things with evidence, like Demi did that because of that. And he's never looking at this fight. He's 10 fights in front of me.
Yeah.
I'm looking at me and you a fight, and I'm looking at you. He's not. He's looking what skills you've got to get me to beat that person. So it's almost like that person equals that person up there. You beat all of those, or you develop your skills, then you get that person. Okay, I can't go and just beat him straight away.
You got to do it.
I've got to develop my skills.
Exactly.
And that's what I like about him. He's always got some plan. And don't get me wrong, this is not for me to win. Some fights I've lost.
Yeah.
It's like, but when I've lost them, it's okay, we need to go back in the gym and work on this. Okay, got it.
Good.
Don't moan. Well, I've moaned a couple of times. But I'm not okay. And even where he moved me through weights, no one knew what weight division I was in. I fight from 53 to 60. People are like, what weight are you fighting? I didn't know. I was fighting out the week of the fight time I've got to be. Oh, I think he's 54. He's like never like a big deal. What's he like? Go find out when you get in there. Then when you get to just walk out, Dean, I want you to do this, and this. Okay, there's a plan. But he wanted me to develop the whole all-round game rather than tuning for one thing in case that didn't work.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's even. I don't know if I drifted off course. See if stuff.
No, you didn't. That's quite interesting. It's quite interesting. I'm going to come back to that in a minute. Let's go. You've trained now. You're starting to get good at it, and then at some point, Tony's going to say to you, "Dean, I want you to go into the ring." Now that's a different headache. It's a different mental challenge, shall we say? And you're hiding this from your family, so you can't even talk to your family and get the little bit of confidence and support from them. How did you feel going into that first fight?
We've been to 3 different venues. Before then, it wasn't as organised as what it is now, where the promoter calls you and says, okay, you fight this way. I get a phone call. I remember Tom calling me on a Friday. So you fight next week. That's my first fight. Do you want to fight
Yeah.
and test your skills? No, he said, I want to go and test your skills. So what does that mean? I said, well, there's been an opponent offered. So we travelled to Manchester. On the way up there, the opponent pulled out. Then we went to Chester, and the guy weighed, I think he was something like, he came in ridiculous, like 10 kilos overweight.
Oh, wow.
Then Tom was like, I think you could do it, but I'm not willing to risk it in your first fight. Then in the end, I was like, do you know what, Tom? I'll just train, and maybe somebody might pull out, and I'll just jump in. And then, long and behold, there's a pull out. I got a phone call on Wednesday. I said, do you want to fight on Saturday?
Wow.
And I was like, do you think I'm ready? He said, well, would I be making this phone call if I didn't think you were ready? Okay, cool. And so we've agreed that now. Where's the fight? Wolverhampton. Sugar. My parents are going to find out.
Oh, shit.
My dad used to go to all the events he's a place called Light Bar. My dad used to go to all the kickboxing, Thai boxing events. So, okay, I can't say no now because he said he's got the fights agreed. We've travelled all over the place to get me fights. Okay, I'll do it, but I'll try and blag it. Maybe nobody see me. In the toilets, this guy goes, "Oh, you're right, Dean. What are you doing here?" My dad's friend. I was there like, "Oh, sugar. What the freaking am I going to do now?" Then I was like, and he looks, I've got my hands wrapped. He's like, how's your treatment going? I was like, I've got the all clear now. I was like, I'm all right. I've had my operations. I'm sure you shouldn't be fighting. So look, please don't tell my dad. I'm going to tell him. I'm going to take my own time.
Yeah.
Because Dean, I don't know about this. Do the medics know? He's looking after talking about all this. So now the fight has become secondary for me. It's like that phone might ring now. It might be my dad saying, get you back home. And then, fortunately enough, the guy wasn't there because they'd been drinking enough. So I think they must have gone to the next bar. And then I jumped in, and I was like, okay, so, and I didn't know the rules.
Okay.
So I got in there, and the referee was like, okay, no elbows, no knees. That I was kind of looking at Tony and said, no, Noel, I don't understand. So I didn't know C class, B class, A. I just knew Thai boxing, and that was all I was taught.
Yeah.
And then, so the fight went, and I stopped him quite quickly. I think I stopped him. He was in the first round, maybe a minute or something like that. And then I remember, like, the adrenaline from that, and I was like, oh, what was that training? And then I was like, Tom, can you get me another one? So we were still in the venue. Tom's messaged a couple of promoters, said, look, you might be fighting next week. I was like, great. The fight fell through.
Oh, shit.
He said, so I'm off to Thailand anyway, so I can't train for 6 weeks. I was like, okay, how can I blag this to my parents now? I know what I'll do. I'll say, I've got something, like there's a medical retreat, and I'm going there to work on, I don't even know what I said, my chi or something stupid anyway. My mum and dad don't really follow religion, so I was like, I want to go there. It's like the camp, and so I've been doing a little bit of Thai boxing there, but I want to work on my mental strength. And they were like, oh yeah, go. I went there, I'm training, and then there for 6 weeks, training with like good Thais, like Pimu, Tony's coach, and I didn't understand though that what I was doing. So I'm inspiring like, oh, black boy, slow. So I'm just like, because I didn't understand. I'm in Thailand. I'm just loving it. I've just found this sport and I'm loving it. And then on the one time where this was the one bit that sticks in my head, is when Tony's coach sent me running because he said, you got too much energy, you need to calm down because you're not making the best decision when you're sparring. So just throwing, didn't understand of like, do you know what I mean? About position, timing. I'm throwing. I'm fitter than you. I'm going to keep throwing. And then he sent me running. And I was like, he's going to call me in a bit. And he let me run. I was running for about an hour and a half. He comes out, black boy, now you tired? I said, good, now we come training. And he slowed me down. I was like, oh, going too fast. So then that really set everything up.
You learned a lesson.
Yeah. And then I stayed in Thailand at a fight before I came home. And then that was the opposite because Pimu was Tony's coach, like, black boy, you do nothing for 1 round. I remember being offended he kept calling me black boy. After a while, I was like, you know what? Because I was like, I don't understand why you keep calling me black boy. He goes, what does Pimu mean? And it means face of pig. He said, and I was like, what? And I was like, so what's it called? I look like a pig. You are black, and you're a boy, yes? black boy. Oh, okay, that's it. And I actually started doing it now in the gym where because it takes away, it does give a sense of humor, but it's like
Yeah.
in the end, I was like, when the black boys turn around, and it's only when there's two black people in the gym where we both started getting confused. We both started doing what he told us. So that was a bit different. And yeah, so that was just in Thailand was insane. And then I came back,
Yes.
and Tom was like, okay, we're gonna start pushing now. But in Thailand, it's 4 rules again. Got back again. Then Tom booked another fight in. Um, and I was like, okay, is this elbows? No. And I was like, no elbows. And my head's still triggering because I haven't had much outside contact to the gyms. I didn't know what was normal, what wasn't.
Yeah.
I'd play basketball and I'd go there, that's it. And then I realised that people don't just normally jump into A class. So I had one B class and so I had C class, then A class, then B class, then A all the way through. So Tony lying about my record to get me fights.
Yeah, you were
So,
telling me that.
yeah, that was funny. As I was going to a place and like, oh, your record's not bad. 20 fights, 4 losses, I think you were saying at one time. So I've had 3 fights. But Tom's like, shh, oh, sorry, Tom, sorry. So just in the end, when people say my record, I was starting nodding, looking at Tom, nod. Don't bother saying anything else.
Looking back, what's like the one fight that stands out that you remember? You think, you know what, that's quite an accomplishment.
There's a number of them. I'd say, I think a number for there's different reasons why it's important. Personal competition, where like I wanted the UK number 1 spot.
Okay.
Challenge. Like I was fighting for that from 4 or 5 fights. I wanted that. That was just fix that. It didn't matter. I wanted to do it from 53 to 60. I wanted to fight all the number ones and be number 1. But I'd say I fought a guy called Amin Kassem. He's from same gym as Fabio Pinco, and he hit so hard. And I remember watching the video because I don't watch them. It puts me off. So Tone does all that bit, and my job's to show up. And I'll get fit. I've got my bit. Tone, what's the plan? And we don't actually have a plan in training. We've got an idea of what they might do, but he's quite good like that because I get to try new things. And I thought he just hit in the first round. Don't think he tested me technically, but it's just any opening he was in. It was just like winning with body shots in the first round, and I normally get my feet round 1. I don't do much, and he just ruined everything. He come out, and he could punch, and I was thinking, okay, his power will die. Round 4, that power was not dying. I was blasting his body, I was kneeing him, and he's like, he's like, I was flashing out of consciousness when he's eating. When I watched the video, it doesn't look as bad as what I felt.
Yeah.
But I remember when Tom goes, just stay on the ropes. If you go to the centre, if you try and fight, because at one point where I tried to trade with him, and I was coming worse, I would stay on the ropes. If you go to the centre, he will knock you out. Stay on the ropes. So when I was getting then after the fight, I was Tom, why take the ropes? Because the ropes will catch you so you can't drop and get the 8 count. I was like, oh shit, yeah. Oh. So when he was hitting, I was on the ropes and it worked, and I like that because the only thing I couldn't hear anything, and then because Tom said I don't want you to listen to my voice now, so you go off yourself, and then I tuned in so quickly to everything that was being said, and so that shows that in my head I thought the shots I couldn't feel what was landing on him, so I watched it afterwards. I went behind the curtain. I think the adrenaline ran off, and I was walking, and next thing I had the oxygen mask on where I collapsed behind the stage. Walked off, but if you look at the video, they raised my arm and I'm fine, and it must have adrenaline.
Was it in Scotland?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He could.
Tony mentioned this one too.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
That was that was. I'd say he's the single hardest hitting puncher I think I've ever fought. I didn't think anyone under 60 could hit that hard. Not like that.
When did you tell your parents finally? Were you still in treatment when you told them?
No, because I couldn't fight. I was having treatment because I had the colostomy bag, so I had to wait for that to be removed. I'd fought, and I was like, it was my ex-wife, and she's like, I think you should tell your parents now because getting out, you are fighting, and we keep under wraps. So I didn't. If you've noticed, even if you look on the internet now, so I put some fights on. None of them were put on. My training clips weren't on, so I just didn't exist. I even thought about changing my name, so people couldn't work out who I was because I thought if my parents find out I'm fighting, they're gonna kill me. And then I remember when I got my own house, I thought, well, they can't kick me out the house. I've got my own house now. So I bought my own house. So there's one step. Yeah, got that. So they can't, they can't kick me out. And then I remember I said to,
So this has gone for quite some years now,
yeah,
isn't
I
it?
hid this for years. I hid this for years. Even
It's
like
a no suspicion, like,
my dad said he did afterwards.
yeah.
My dad said he did after.
Or you're shadow boxing when you make a breakfast. Or what are you doing, dude?
Yeah, I think it was like with when he was like, "Oh, there's nothing on you." I was having to lose weight for a fight and put my sweatsuit on, and my dad did like kickboxing, so he understood what people do. He never used to compete, but he understood
Yeah.
because he'd been
But you
training for it.
understood,
He
yeah.
knew what you were up to. But he was like, "What you did?" But dad could not get this through. When I told him, which we'll explain now, was I walked in and I remember I said, "Tone, I've won 2 world titles now. I think I need to tell my parents."
Yeah.
But my idea was I might not stick the sport. I didn't even buy a pair of shorts.
Okay.
Tony bought me shorts, he bought me pads, he bought me gloves. My idea was I played basketball. Everything I did, I never stuck it. I was roller skating. So I was like, I used to borrow the kit from the gym. Then Tom bought me stuff. He's like, I have that. And so he fit me every stuff. I was like, oh, this is all right. This is, I'm not going to. And then I wouldn't, on the title, I remember it was, no. Yeah, it was the first world title. It wasn't the second one. First world title. And then I walked into the living room. Mum and Dad was sitting there. It was on a Saturday, on a Sunday, because I won the belt on the Saturday. Went to Mum was doing the ironing or something, and my dad, and I was like, "Yeah, Dad." He's like, watching football. I think Arsenal might have lost or something like that. And then I was like, Mum, still feel like a big kid. You feel like that naughty kid. You know what I mean? And you're a grown man, but
Yeah.
you've kind of like regressed into a child. I was like, I fight, and my dad just stopped, looked, and carried on watching TV. And then my mum was like, "What do you mean you fight? So you've been fighting last night?" I said, No, Mum, I fight in the sport. It's regulated sport. I fight. I do Muay Thai. You do? I was like, Yeah. Where are you doing that? I was like, Well, been doing it for a while. She said, Yeah, but you've been training. I said, Mum, I've been competing. Sure, you've lied to me. I was like, Yeah, I'm sorry, but I had to, because I had to do something. And my dad just, all of a sudden, the TV just switched off. But weird. And I was like, oh God, when the paddle comes out, you know you're in trouble. Do you know what I mean? You're good? And I was like, I'm all right, Dad. And then Joanne, she was like, he's good. I've watched him, he's good. How many fight you have? And I was like, oh God. So I was like, Joe, just go and get my belts. And she come in, she dropped the belts on the floor. And so my dad, you? I was like, yeah. My mum's still like looking. And then it was just that moment of silence when no one said anything. My younger brother knew because he supported me because he was covering the stories for me as well.
Yeah.
And then from there it was just my dad never missed a fight from there.
Nice.
And it was Mum's like, well, you shouldn't be doing that. And she told me all these things and reason why. I was like, Mum, you're saying all these things. She went, well, what about if your stomach explodes? Because I've got a fake stomach. It's made out of silicone. I was like, Mum, I've got made up some lies. I've got a sports one, I've had it checked, and I didn't. Like it. She said, what about the body shots? And about this, and about that? I said, Mum, I'm here, aren't I? And it's fine. And she's like, oh, okay.
You're
I ain't coming to watch you though. I was like, yeah, my dad. So my dad must have jumped on the internet or something. And he was like, how do you compare looking around? Because then he found the forums, which was Axe. And he's like,
okay.
Andy Olsen, Damien Trainer, Reese Crook, and my name must have been floating about. Look, really? Everyone's saying that Andy's number one at that weight, and this and that and the other. I went, well, that's the other bit. I've got him next. And he was like, oh, I'll tell the boys. Next thing you know, and the next morning, when do I get the tickets? And I had about, I can't remember, I had a lot of people out to watch that one. And that's when they knew. So that was the first fight they come to.
How did that feel? Fighting there and not being a secret, like your family and everyone knew about it.
Pressure.
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd feel, I thought I'd be felt supported. I didn't. I felt like, because we stayed away, we were fighting away. And these are the reasons I'm staying away, because I was like, trying to want to fight in Ireland, I want to fight Scotland. Scotland was like my home ground. I had more fights up there because it's away. And
Yeah.
I love fighting in Ireland because I appreciate Muay Thai. It's not like smash the red in. The game and the support, the support the winner,
Yeah.
the better technique. At home, I was like, Tom, I'm feeling really, really nervous. He's like, just go in and do what you normally do. That's enough. All you can do is what you're trying to do. Then he'd be like the phone calls from your family, your friends. Like, oh, and they got no idea. Smash him up. Like, do you want to tell me how to do it? That'd be easy, wouldn't it? Do you know what I mean? And everyone becomes like professionals. And I was just, no, it just felt really bizarre. And I remember just, Tone, I need a wee. And it was behind the curtain. My music mum was like, Tone, get the green guard off. I need to go to the toilet. So I'm in the toilet, my gloves on, trying to take it away. Music's still playing. I'll be there in a bit. Then I've made my entrance. And then it was just, I was like, Tone, I'm not going to be able to hear you. And I was so nervous because I know I've been supported. And you got everyone cheering your name and they're shouting from, it wasn't even my fault. You were, Dino! From behind, you're like, oh God, what happens if it all goes wrong? And then
Yeah.
luckily it came out.
Nice.
It's come out good, yeah.
Good.
And they kind of understand what I'm doing. So they're like, oh, why don't you fight him? And, stay away from him. But that one looks like you could beat him. I don't want the ones that I could beat. And they kind of, my parents got on board, not my parents, all my friendship group and my family got on board with, I'll challenge myself. I was like, I've not come off chemotherapy and I'm to have an easy run and be a paper champion. I want to be one that people know that I've beat. Who's good? Like, and I watched Tone do it before where we'd be somewhere and it almost feels like I'm saying to someone, I'm trying not to think for myself. I'm like, Tone, we could take that fight. And I'm just looking purely, okay, they're offering that much money and you're willing to put me through a war and that's a lot less money. But it's like, but you'll never forget, you never remember where you spent that money. But this fight, you remember where you were. And he's right. Do you know what I mean? When you beat some people, you're like,
Interesting.
You don't ever remember how much you could pay for a fight. And there's not that much money in it, really. So at least go out, and I've had now 40 fights. And like I say, I've beat 30 world champions.
Wow.
So it's not for the belts, obviously, but the world champion is some form.
Yeah.
And just being able to move around, it's good. And I think that that's the bit that I love about Tony. It's like nothing ever got easier. Nothing. Like when I lost, I remember a promoter called me and said, "Oh, we give you a tune-up fight." So I can't have one. I can't do it. If you give me a tune-up fight, I'll go and lose it. You give me something easy, I will not show up. So okay, well, we got offered. I come off the back of a loss. We got Runga V.
Okay.
Runga V just beat Damien, just beat Andy, and I just come off the back of a loss. I think I just lost. Cool, let's do it. And then when Tom called me, so you got the fight. So which one? I was asking for this fight for a long time, and I just lost. She got Runga V. So yes, let's go. Like there was no like warm up. What do I need a warm up for? I don't need a warm. I've been in the gym. I don't need warm ups. Everyone, this is why I laugh. I have to laugh sometimes. Just take my own personal viewpoint because it doesn't mean you're right. It means your perspective, isn't it? So some people say, "Oh, I just need a couple of fights to warm up," and I can't. I can't have warm ups.
Yeah.
Just who's the best one? Win, lose or draw, show up and fight them.
Yeah.
I can walk away with my head held high, but I know you're going to push me. You're going to make me get out of bed. If I just automatically think I'm going to beat you, there's no way you're getting the fight. I'm not fighting you because I'm just not
kind
interested.
of been you the whole way through, though, isn't it? From the first time you walked into that gym, it's been the fight. I want the fight.
Yeah, and it was, and it's just it become a habit, and he's trying to get accepted in my like amongst my peers as well in the gym, and it was because everyone was just fighting. When I got there, everyone was just fighting hard fights, and I was like, I want that. And there was another person in our gym, and he was always getting like, he wasn't from our gym. He trained with Tony, but Tony was like one of his trainers. He had another trainer, but the fights had blown him away, and Tony was never impressed. So I was like, oh well, if that had been a better fight, that would have happened. That would have been. I didn't want him going away and saying that. I was like, okay, so who do you think I need to fight? And Tom would call me, being a referee, Tom was like, Dean, this guy, he looked fucking good. He looked really good. Sorry about my language. He looked really good. However, I think you can beat him in this and this.
Yeah.
But don't listen to what people tell you. People say, don't fight him. He's dangerous. Dimitri Verratzi was Dean, avoid him. He's already beat Andy. He's already beat Damien, avoid him. Next thing you know, I'm seeing the poster up with me on it, with him on it. I said, Tom, I'll fight him for Verratzi. Yeah, it'd be a great fight, wouldn't it? Yeah, it will be. You're going to learn. Do you know what I mean? I've got to show up because if I don't show up, I'm going to get knocked out. So, and I'll beat him. So that's when you're like, yeah, that's good.
Because this has been your journey, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not been about records or anything like that. It's been your journey, your thing.
Yeah.
Good. So, let's say I don't think you've hanged up your gloves just yet. However, you've kind of transitioned to coaching and running a gym.
Yeah.
What's that like from being a fighter, focusing on yourself and your own game, to now transitioning into running a gym? Like, that was really nice. That was in there. We got some footage of the gym with the vibe and how everyone is with you, and you're joking around with the little kids and the big ones and the family and everyone. That's a big vibe. It's your personality, right? How do you transition from being a fighter into that? Why did you want to do that even?
I didn't. I didn't want to do that. I'm a PE teacher,
Okay.
and I fell into coaching by accident. Um, I use it as an engaging activity. Some of the kids that struggle with who've got behavioural needs. So I was
Okay.
teaching a mainstream school, and had a young lad who fought from the end named Connor. He's a really nice kid, and he was always getting detention, detention, detention. So every Friday where I was on detention, this kid would be in my detention. Why do you want to get detention on Friday? Because I've got places I need to go on a Friday. So you'd always have like banter, but in the end, you worked out that he just wanted attention, even though it's
Yeah.
negative attention. But for that minute on a Friday, my detention only had like maximum like 2, 3 kids. He's guaranteed he's one of them. So I was like, do you know what? And I spoke to their teacher. Said, can I bring my pads in? Because I think this kid didn't engage in PE.
Yeah.
But he wants to know so much about fighting. We talk about fighting. For me, just kept him engaged. I didn't know what was going on with him outside of school. But he was always talking about, so what makes that person good? And I started enjoying watching fights with him. He said, do you think I could try? And I had the 2 lads in detention, another lad called Jay, a really nice kid. He started training with me as well. He's meant to fight for me when he's older. And I was like, do you know what? I'm going to ask the head teacher. So the head teacher said, you can start doing some pads as an incentive to keep them out of detention. So the detention was replaced with the training session,
Yeah.
as long as I showed about insurance and blah, blah, blah. Then they got to a level where they compete with each other. And I was like, let's get you out sparring. So he used to get, because he's put into a smaller group class where a lot of the kids with behavioural needs were put, I could arrange to take them out sparring. So Tony had a boxing gym over in Rugeley, so I was going to take them boxing. Head teachers, all for sport. Yep, get them out. And they sparred. And I was like, okay, let's see how far we can go with this. I'll put them into clubs.
Okay.
So on a Saturday, when I was like, when's my day off? I'm taking them into clubs, or Sunday even. They started doing well. And I thought, do you know what? I said, if you can pass, if you can get, I think it was like, I think I said, if you can get a C. No, it's attendance. If you can attend, I think it's getting something like 25% attendance. If you can get 50 for a term, you can have your first fight. He's like, really? Yeah, so he got 98%. And I always remember because he brought a certificate to prove it. So I had to act like I was giving it to a governing body. So I scanned these things. I've got to send this off now to make sure I can get your fight license. Obviously, he's already, he's like, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Will you tell me when I'm allowed to, sir? I said, yeah. The funny thing is when you go to the show and people, he's calling you sir, and they're like, I think I'm some kind of weirdo. Do you know what I mean? And then he won his first fight. And we got him through school. We didn't. He only had one fight, and then we just used it as a carrot to get him through. And he got through. He went to college. He still pops
Wow.
in now. He still pops in every now and then. It's good to see him. He's got his own business now.
Nice.
And Jay was just gifted. We couldn't get him into school. He started coming, and then in the end, it was like I had a gym. So then I thought, well, where do I put him? Started coaching. Then someone came to Tony's. It was Steve Broom, and asked me if I'd go and start coaching at his academy because he had a small little academy. I went
Yeah.
there. That's when I met Danny Forshaw, a kid then. I was there, then I moved on from there. And it just accidentally, it all just kind of,
Yeah.
then was at Tony's, I was using the school, then I came here,
Yeah.
and then I've been here for like years, and there's nothing here. So yeah,
It's cool.
it's
Really
just
cool.
like, it's nice the way it worked. And it's all, just, as you've seen, and hopefully you've picked it up, it's just a family. We just love laughing and
Yeah.
joking, but we get the work done. We work hard.
It's a reflection of you, though, isn't it? Like
I hope
it's
so.
like, for example, if you look at, let's say, Tony, in the conversation I had with Tony, it was very much about he did everything he did, not for monetary gain or for prestige or anything like that. He did it because he felt like he wanted to give back to people like yourself. So when you walked into that gym, that's what he saw, the intellect, the passion, and how you wanted to just learn and stuff. And he got that was enough for him. That's why he wanted to give his time to you. He brought you to where you were. But in school, you've seen this to your kids. I think that's just a beautiful story that you've seen this to your kids.
Yeah.
You've seen something in them. Whereas, let's be honest, right? Any other teacher, if that was the English teacher that walked in there, not going to be holding pads for them.
Yeah.
They would not be where they are now. If you didn't have that conversation, and you didn't bond, you're that kind of person that can just connect with people.
Yeah.
You didn't have that bond, you didn't have that connection, they would have potentially, most likely, would have gone a different path. And that's what you see in that room there. You see your personality reflected there.
Oh, thank you. It means a
Yeah,
lot.
that's what I saw anyway.
Just it was with Tony, like he sent me, he paid for me to go to uni. How much he's done for me, things he didn't, like, it was like, for me, when I was at school, I wouldn't be a PE teacher now, or wouldn't have been a PE teacher if it wasn't for Tony. Tony was the one that really brought education. I thought, I tried it. I didn't really excel at school. I didn't have any kind of behavioural needs, just misunderstood.
Yeah.
I'd be quiet, so you forget the quiet person in the room. So I'd just do enough just to get by, but never enough to push myself.
Yeah.
But my mum was pregnant with me when she was 15. In education, then you removed from the education system. So education it was really important, wasn't be all and end all.
Yeah.
You get by. Do you know what I mean? As long as you've got a house and, you've got a car, it doesn't have to be a nice car. My aspirations were never, Tom was like, have you looked at it like this? And I was like, well, I could do that. And he's like, okay, you're gonna go to uni? No, you're fighting, you're stopping.
Yeah.
And I was like, you can't just stop me from fighting. What do you mean? Like, Tone. And I think, no, I was on a good run. It's okay, now you're gonna go to uni. I don't want to go to uni. I'm doing this. He's like, Dean, if I could pay for your life through this, then I'll say yeah. But no, you're not fighting now until you've got your degree sorted. I was like, Tony, how long does it take to get a degree? So I can't. I've got my daughter. I've got a full-time job. I've got training. So someone's got to give. So what are you going to do? Yeah. So at one time with my ex-wife, she was working all the hours. Without her, we get on with friends. Without her doing all the hard bits, she's an accountant. So she was the main breadwinner while I was chasing my dreams. And then it's like, okay. So then I was a youth worker on the side. And I was doing it. And it's almost like you go home, and look, one job, you're off. Then it's come back home writing assignments. And then because Tony's a lecturer, I bring my uni work to the gym. Like, Tony, have a look at that. And I'll be eating pads and Tony, Dean, come here. You're not brought that. So my mates, then I'm on the laptop. Watching everyone hit pads. It feels like a punishment. Like, do you know, sometimes I come back and I swear. I used to just swear to myself, F this, F that, F this. And then when it was my graduation, when I got to the right to the end, I was like, Tony, I can't do it. I want to pull. I want to go to Thailand. I just want to go and train there. I've done my chemotherapy. I want to go and enjoy this. Yeah. So you can enjoy it. It's not going anywhere, but it's up to you. If you want to go and fight, if you want to fight, go and fight for somebody else. So you get a degree, go and fight for somebody else. And I was like thinking, well, at that point in time, I think Tom put that much time into me. You kind of feel that you're irreplaceable. Yeah. Then he's just deadly serious. It's up to you. I was like, I thought, do I call his bluff? I seen the way he looked at me. I was like, no, not today. I was like, okay, I'll do my work. And then we trained for Andy through I did my graduation the day that I fought Andy. I had to make the weigh-in. I had to go straight to the weigh-in. That was my first fight back. Wow. Doing it, and it was just, when Tone came on the phone call, it's like, you've handled your working. Tone's got friends, like, because he's seen the lecturer at Newman, at Wolverhampton Uni, so he knew when my stuff was going into. It was like, almost, I see his name pop on the phone, like, Sugar. You not know, you could go, hello? Yeah, Tony, yeah. I'm not. Yep, I've got it now. Where's my laptop? Back on the laptop again. But no, without him, like, and then not only that, he put me up at his house when we was like for training where I couldn't get the training, and I'd be going bonkers because I was 110% in that. Yeah. I couldn't stood without training, so I'm like, okay, well, set mine for the weekend. Yeah. I'll do 3 sessions in a day, stay at his house, then do 3 sessions after. That's my week fix. Then back to that again. So to be banned from fighting. And like, even when you're not in the gym till your dissertation's done, it's punishment. And people like, do you feel like that naughty kid? And you're trying to like sneak into the gym. Have you done your dissertation? Pick your bag up. You're walking back out the gym. Do you know what I mean? See you later, lads. Back, and then, but it worked. So doing that, having the children, working jobs, and when money was tight, you'd be like, okay, don't worry about it. And I couldn't believe someone. I was thinking, there's always got to be a catch. And there wasn't. All I want you to do is just do your best. Yeah. And he pushed. He's my second dad. He does. I can call him whenever things are going wrong. He's got an answer for me, and he goes far behind. And that's why I think when fights have been hard, like when I remember when I was saying because in one of the fights where someone hit me with something, I couldn't remember where I was. And when Tom was like, I need you to do, and I remember just thinking, like, I was trying to figure out, I think I was trying to work out my legs worked or something. And I was like looking around, and he didn't slap me. Normally he slaps me. And I was thinking, that was quite nice. And I was like, what the hell's going on? Is it round 5? I need to work for me now. I need it from you. You need it from me? Yeah, okay. I knocked him out that round. He's like, I owe you, so I've got to pay you. Okay, well done. He didn't give me a hug or anything. I've been okay, well done. Could have done that a bit earlier. But it's good. It's good. You got some more rounds, belt. He's always got like a positive. You know what I mean? And yeah, so for him, I go to war. In the last one where with the Yadshow one where I got caught in that fight, and he didn't want me in that fight. And he's like, the weight's wrong. You haven't got time to train. Because I think we only had 10 days or something to get ready.
Yeah.
But I was like, itching. And Tony's got his young family, so I'm in the gym, but I'm not training. But because you're around it in your mind, you're still fit.
Yeah.
And then when I had to put my foot on, I went running. I had to have 2 days rest after my run. I was so, I really agree. The fight, and I see the poster, I was like, I can't pull. And then, and after the fight, where I know it was, because he told me, he was like, I'm with you, but I didn't want you to do it. And he's like, I'm with you. So Dean, but it's gonna be hard. So you made it hard for yourself. So, but Tom never ever made it easy. And we laughed at that. Do you know what I mean? He's like, okay, well, we're gonna dig in. It's a big weight. He hits hard. You're gonna push him. So, but he's gonna hurt you. Stay tight. And then when I got caught, and then in the video where he walks past me, I'm knocked out on the floor, and he walks past me and congratulates my opponent. And I was there like, let him down. Afterwards, he says, well, you just got to listen. So I've let you do what you wanted to, but now you listen to me. And then I've not been in the ring since because he's like, you've got a gym full of people. I've got my commitments.
Yeah.
And then he was telling me to go, and I remember where we had a conversation. He was like, if you want to go down, you've still got so much to give. He said, but I can't train you. I've got a young family. I can't give you what I used to be able to give you. Not right now. Not saying never, but right now.
Yeah.
Like, what's going to be first is my family and my young kids. And I was like, okay, I understand that. He said, so you can either move, I'll still be in your life and I'll still help you, but you can get another coach. And I was like, okay, took the idea, and I was like, I've started with you, I'm going to finish with you. So I'll be in the wings just waiting. And then now he's coming back into it. And I said, Tony, we're talking. So now we're talking. So it was like, now I've got to do my bit. I went off, did wait for a little bit. A lot of stuff gone on for me to change about. And I think the loss, it was hard because it does knock your identity. Because I've lost fights, but I've never been counted, never been dropped.
Yeah.
I didn't think I could be put down. And then I just remember hearing 5, 6. I thought, where did 1, 2, 3, 4 go? I was like, I'm sure this ref can't count. And then I got up, and that was, I can understand it. Some people, like you see, with people that have been successful when something doesn't go their way.
Yeah.
With me, I thought losing would be a loss. A loss is a loss. There's different ways of losing. I've lost some fights, walked away and thought, that's the best I could have done.
Yeah.
And that one, I didn't listen to myself, and that's what burnt me. And then all the other bits creeped in. So, going off partying and just not out of frustration, I think, because I gave it everything I had in my fight career. And the one time where I didn't listen to those around me, I paid. And everyone could say it's an excuse, could say what they want.
Yeah.
And then it was like, jump back in doing another one. That was my first urge. Then it's like, you know what? No, I'm going to sit back, build my team.
Yeah.
And I wait for my coach to come back. And if he comes back, he comes back. If he doesn't, I'll sit the rest out. And now he's back on board and he's able to. And he's got more freedom. His son does Thai as well. But I can't imagine fighting. I've done one fight with him in the corner, and then that was with my friend Liam, who passed away.
Yeah.
He's one of my best friends, and he knew me. But I couldn't imagine in that ring and not hearing that voice. I think I'd struggle.
It's part of your journey now.
Yeah. It's not me. Everyone seems to think it's you that's doing it, but it's his instruction that I'm not stupid, I'm drift away from the boss. Do you know what I mean? So
we're gonna have to end this.
Yeah, no worries.
I really enjoyed this. We need to do another part to this.
Yeah.
Definitely need to do another part to this. I think you're pretty amazing, bro.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I do.
I don't like the camera. The camera's hard, isn't it? The camera's the hard bit, but
yeah, no. It's like even hearing what Tony says about you, and then hearing what you say about him as well. The two mirror together, and even like how you're ending this bit where you're talking about how you wouldn't fight again without Tony. It's very much what you two are about and what your journey is about.
Yeah.
It's always about yourself, for what you're getting out of it. You don't want the fucking easy fights. You want the tough fights. Yeah. And you want the tough fights because that's who you are.
I think it's your development,
got to be done in the right way. Exactly.
It's nice. Nice to know that, like, it's funny when my son, because he gets all excited about one championship, and he's got into it. And there's someone on there that I beat, and he was like, oh, Dad, da, da, da. And I was like, and he went, You fought him? And I was like, yeah. But he's on one championship because that's a big deal now, isn't he?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I showed him the video of the knockout. And he was like, Dad, huh? You did that to him, yeah? So could you like beat up the neighbours? He goes in and mad stuff. Dad, my friend at football's dad shouts to you there. Could you beat him up as well? So, but no, it's good though. It is good.
Dean, thank you for your time.
No, thank you.
Pleasure.
Thanks a lot.
I really enjoyed this. Thank you.